Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Soup vendor shot and killed in Trelawney. Detectives assigned to the Trelawney Criminal Investigations Branch CIB are probing the murder of a food vendor who was shot and killed in his car by unknown assailants early Monday morning. The deceased has been identified as 30-year-old Kemar Williams, otherwise called Soupy, a chef of Waterlane Falmouth in Trelawney. Reports from the Falmouth police are that about 1:10 a.m., Williams was sitting in his Mazda Primercy motor vehicle in the Hague housing scheme in the parish when explosions were heard. Williams reportedly drove off, but soon after lost control of the vehicle, which crashed into a wall. Upon the arrival of the police who were summoned, Williams was seen with a wound to his back and his body partially hanging out of the motor vehicle. He was transported to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Hotel worker killed in St. James 5-vehicle collision. A man is now dead following a motor vehicle accident on the Flankers Main Road in St. James on Monday night. He has been identified as Adrian Ladrick, a chef of Westgate and Belmont address in the parish, who is employed at the hotel in Rose Hall. Reports are that about 9:55 p.m., Adrian was traveling in a Toyota Visos motor vehicle along the Flanker Main Road when he was involved in a 5-vehicle collision. Firefighters and other emergency personnel were called to the scene. However, despite their best efforts, Adrian succumbed to the injuries he had sustained. Another man was taken to hospital with injuries. His condition is unknown. Woman hospitalized following car crash in St. Thomas. A woman was rushed to hospital for treatment after her car crashed into a median at the Albion Main Road near Yellows in St. Thomas Tuesday afternoon. Information reaching the reporter is that about 3:10 p.m., the driver, who is said to be a police officer, lost control of the vehicle before it crashed. The condition of the woman is not known at this time. Her identity has not been revealed. Isa Buchanan apologizes for crude remarks about DPP. Attorney Isa Buchanan apologized for a recount of the sexual explicit comment he made about Director of Public Prosecution DPP Paula Llewellyn in a recent YouTube program. Buchanan shared a statement in his social media accounts on Tuesday where he expressed deep regret for quoting a sexually explicit lyric by Vybz Kartel in reference to Llewellyn. "I have considered the statement I made on YouTube channel, and I was co-hosting extensively. Though I am a believer of free speech, I do recognize no more than before the importance of preserving public civility and mutual respect on how we engage with each other as a society. My comments and the use of song reference are indeed unfortunate, and for that I unequivocally apologize," he wrote. "I specifically wish to indicate to Ms. Llewellyn that I deeply regret this and I am truly sorry. Advocating for freedom of speech and expression does not stand mutually exclusively with the demonstrating exemplary decorum throughout public channel," he added. Following his comments, Buchanan resigned from the post as chairman of the People's National Party Human Rights Commission after Gender Affairs Minister Oliver Grange had urged PNP President Mark Golding to immediately fire the attorney over what she called misogynistic, rude, nasty, sexist, low and disgraceful language in reference to the country's chief prosecutor. He believes that resigning is in the best interest of the party, as the remarks in question do not reflect the values of the People's National Party, the PNP had remarked in a release. Since last week, there has been a political upset over the move by the government to amend the constitution to increase the retirement age of the DPP and the Auditor General from 60 to 65 years. Despite objections from opposition members of parliament and senators, the government used its superior numbers in the parliament to pass the legislation. Crawford still wants to be Prime Minister, explains relative silence on the Golden-led PNP. Opposition Senator Damien Crawford has never shied away from stating his ambition of one day leading the People's National Party PNP and Jamaica as Prime Minister. Despite his relative silence the last couple of years, since taking a hiatus from representational politics, the desire remains. "I would love to have the opportunity to be Prime Minister. I have always wanted that opportunity, and that I am the chief decision maker of where we go," Crawford told reporters in an exclusive interview earlier last week. "If I get the opportunity to decide for education or health or housing, or wherever, I will be able to do more. The role of the Prime Minister, I believe, If I have the opportunity, I would make some serious changes, he added. Crawford, who is also opposition spokesperson on education, has been keeping a relatively low profile for the last couple of years. Asked about his relative silence, he said it is because he has less influence under the current Mark Golden-led PNP compared to when Portia Simpson-Miller or Dr. Phillips was at the helm of the party. One of the worst things I think can happen is to be perceived as a liar. If I don't have the influence over the direction of the party, I can't be the main speaker or voice of the party because I don't have the influence to guarantee that the things that I am proposing will be done, Crawford stated. Because I have much less influence now than I had under Dr. Peter Phillips or Portia Simpson-Miller, I don't find it comfortable to be an announcer of my opinion, he stated. Still, Crawford has expressed a desire to return to representational politics, declaring his intent of becoming the PNP standing bearer in St. Catherine Northwest constituency if the seat becomes available. The current Member of Parliament for the constituency is the PNP's Hugh Graham, who has had an uneasy relationship with the party and resigned from the opposition shadow candidate earlier this year. Stony Hill market vendors say lack of electricity killing business threaten to stop paying fees. When the new-look Stony Hill market in West Rural St. Andrew was unveiled last November, vendors expressed pleasure at the rehabilitation of the facility, noting that they would now have a more spacious and welcoming environment to conduct business. However, that reportedly hasn't panned out. The vendors at the market are at their wits' end over a number of issues at the facility which they say are affecting their business. Chief among the issues, they say, is a lack of electricity at the facility, which has shortened their business hours. We have been here since November. We didn't have any light until January. And from January, we have light 2 months to 3 months. And from that, the light gone again, a distraught vendor Tia told reporters. We have been paying market fees, and we're not getting any good argument about the light. The supervisor that work up here told us we don't need light to sell because we should pack up by certain hours, she continued, declaring it's not fair to us to be paying market fees and not getting light. According to the vendors, the lack of electricity has forced them to shut up as early as 5 p.m., hours earlier than their normal closing time. By 5 o'clock, we have to come out here. In here, it's very dark. Remember, anyone can run through one of the market gate and hold we up because of the darkness. So it make no sense catch, another vendor stated. The situation has put a severe dent in their bottom line, the Tia added. Usually, a person coming home from work, like 6 or 7 o'clock, would stop and buy a piece of yam, pumpkin, or so on. But now, they are afraid to come in here without the light, she said. What we normally sell in one day, it takes us now a whole day to sell, a male vendor interjected, putting into context how severely the issue has impacted sales. Among the other issues at the facility, the vendors say are theft and a leaking roof. From them done the market disagwan, because them say they give we big pretty market, and the worst market them give we. Better we have the old market, another vendor added. It cost the vendors some $8,000 in fees per month to operate at the market. But yet, they say their appeals to the authorities to address the issues has fallen on deaf ears. They have threatened to stop paying market fees if the issues are not addressed. Nobody now can give us no justice, so we decide that we're not paying no market fees. So before we stop paying market fees, we do this, we speak to the media, stated the vendor. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and